PlayStation 5 isn't even out of breath yet, the PS5 Pro just dropped, but gamers were already talking about the PS6. And here's the wild part, leaks and insider tips suggest Sony is quietly lining up a launch window. So when is it coming, how powerful will it be, and will it finally deliver the dream console we've been waiting for? Let's break it down. Every PlayStation generation has followed a pattern, about 7 years between consoles, PS3 in 2006, PS4 in 2013 and PS5 in 2020, so what's next? If the rumors are true, circle 2027 on your calendar. Multiple leaks including AMD tipsters and insider reports all point to a November 2027 release. That would keep the cycle alive, but here's the catch, the next Xbox is expected around the same time, and whispers say Microsoft's machine could actually outgun Sony's on raw power. So is Sony about to play defense for the first time in decades? Now let's talk about money. The PS5 launched at $499, the Pro model a whooping $749, and consoles aren't getting cheaper anymore, they're creeping up in price. So where does that leave the PS6? Well, some insiders suggest between $599 and $649 for the base model. Painful, yes, but maybe not shocking in 2027's economy. And there's even chatter of a PS6S, Sony's answer to the Xbox Series S, a cheaper, less powerful version for budget-conscious gamers. If true, that would be a first for PlayStation. Alright, and now about the specs, they sound unreal. Leaks say that the PS6 will pack AMD's RDNA 5 GPU, think performance on par with an RTX 4080, that means 4K gaming at 120 frames per second and maybe even 8K at 60 frames per second. Compare that to the base PS5 and we're talking up to an 8x performance boost. That's not just a leap, that's a warp jump. But hold on, some say that the next Xbox will still have more cores, faster memory and higher GPU frequency. So the million-dollar question is, does raw power even matter if Sony locks down the best exclusives? Now about the physical media debate, will the PS6 ditch them entirely? Not so fast. Reports suggest Sony will stick with its modular approach, digital only by default, but with an optional disk drive you can snap on. So physical media fans, you're not dead yet. But here's the twist, Sony could be betting on a mostly digital future, where the disk drive becomes a niche accessory, not the norm. But what about the games? CD Projekt Red is deep into The Witcher 4 and a Cyberpunk sequel both years away, and Hogwarts Legacy 2 early in development just in time for the PS6 window. And if Sony wants to repeat history, remember the PS5 launched with Demon's Souls remake? Maybe we'll finally see what fans have been begging for, a Bloodborne remaster or remake. And here's the sleeper feature no one's talking about enough, AI. The PS5 Pro already uses AI upscaling tech called PSSR. The PS6 expected on steroids, smarter graphics rendering, real-time enhancements, and maybe even AI-assisted gameplay elements. Just imagine enemies adapting on the fly, imagine NPCs that feel alive. This could be where Sony drops the real bombshell. So let's put it together, a 2027 launch window, 8x performance jumps, a possible cheaper PS6S, and a games lineup that could include The Witcher 4 or Hogwarts Legacy 2 and more. But here's the real question, is the PS6 going to be remembered as the most powerful console ever, or the one that finally proved exclusives and innovation matter more than raw specs?